What's up, y'all? Back at you with another one. Been out of commission for a little bit. Actually just came off of a fast. So today I just completed a 48-hour fast. And so that went really well. Felt really good on it. Worked all the way through it. I work 40 hours a week. And went really well. So back at it with another one. And today, basically bringing you breaking news that we now have the US-UK trade deal. They've been in negotiations, and it seems like they've established a framework. They're still working out the details, but that's pretty positive news. And we'll see what kind of details come out in the next few days and weeks coming ahead. For now, what we know is that it's a preliminary deal struck between the two nations aimed at boosting trade, and this actually makes it the first deal that has been struck since implementing the tariffs, with the baseline tariff being 10% all the way across the board. It's described as a comprehensive framework with the details still being worked out. And so we'll just go over a couple of the details that we have so far. So it seems like the deal is going to reduce some tariffs on some British-made goods such as cars, aluminum, and steel, but it will still maintain the baseline 10% tariff, which from the administration, it seems like that baseline of 10% is going to be maintained all the way across the board for all nations. And the 10% is actually the lowest that, from what it sounds like, from what Howard Lutnick says, it's actually the lowest rate that these countries will be able to negotiate. The UK will be lowering tariffs on cars, farm products, agriculture, and possibly some tech products. The US is expected to gain significantly from the opening of the UK market to some agricultural goods such as beef, chicken, and it's going to be billions of dollars that will be negotiated that the UK will be accepting from the United States in the form of imports. Pharmaceuticals is also being negotiated in this deal to stabilize the supply chain. So that's a plus. Once the details of the deal is finalized, it'll go up for US congressional approval, at which time, if it's passed, it'll go into law. So pretty interesting events today. Quite fascinating that that deal was announced right along with the new Pope being voted and announced. Kind of weird how that worked out. But the markets definitely reacted today. So as you've seen, the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, all closed up, really rallied. Actually, the S&P went as high as 57.20 today, closed at 56.63. The NASDAQ hit a high of 20,249, closed at 20,063. And I think the biggest winner out of today may have been Boeing, which actually announced in the trade deal was a stipulation that UK would be buying, I want to say around 10 billion worth of Boeing planes in this deal. So that was very significant. And when that detail came out during the press conference in the White House today, Boeing stock surged. And so we seen Boeing hit a high. Today's high was 194.75 and wound up closing at 191.70. And so your stocks, Boeing, Delta, those might be some good opportunities moving forward. One of the main things being pointed out by this deal, aside from the tariff-related aspects, is the trade barriers. And so that's one thing with this deal. A lot of the trade barriers that UK had in place will be removed, which had kept a lot of United States companies from trading and exporting to the UK. And that's, a main issue with a lot of other countries as well. So we definitely want to be monitoring that as these deals get announced and come about. It's not only the tariff that these other countries had in place, but the bigger impact is the trade barriers, different laws or policies that the countries had established where U.S. goods and products weren't allowed into the country. And so as a lot of those trade barriers come down, it's going to open up a lot of opportunity for U.S. companies to export and send their goods over there. So we'll definitely be looking out for that. And we want to look out for who's going to be the winners of these deals, who's going to be the companies that benefit the most. That's how we're going to want to position ourselves. And as we've seen today, seems like Boeing was definitely that company. All right, y'all, so I just had to change up the scenery a little bit, but let's go ahead and finish up the video. So like I was speaking on, Boeing, the biggest benefiter of the new trade deal today. We seen Boeing, what it do? The buyers went into Boeing, right? Obviously, it's an obvious play. And so we seen Boeing had a high today. Today's high in Boeing was 194.75. And so, you know, hey, moving forward, you definitely want to do your research on Boeing. Okay. You know, if you understand fundamental analysis, do your fundamentals, do your technicals. And so as we see on Boeing's price chart, over 5 years, Boeing had a high of 278.56. And so today's close on Boeing was 191.70. So even with the move up that it made today after the announcement of the deal, and we've seen that this deal is proposing that the UK purchase $10 billion of planes from Boeing, right? So that's going to be exported to the UK from Boeing. And so even with the move up that was made today, Boeing is still trading down from its all-time high, or its 5-year high of 278.56, currently trading at 191.70 for let me tell you, because you know we like discounts, okay? When we shop, we like to go to the store and look for what's on sale. We like to see fire sales. We like to see discounts. Well, right now, Boeing is trading at a 31% discount. 31% discounted from its 5-year high, even after today's move. So definitely something to look into. Check it out and let me know what you think about it. All right, y'all, so we're gonna wrap this video up. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, drop a comment. Let's have a conversation. Tell me what you think about this proposed trade deal. So it looks like they're still working out the details. More details will come out. More facts will come out over the next few days and weeks until it goes to Congress, you know, to be voted into law. So does it seem like it's a good deal for the country? Does it seem like, you know, we came out on top? Does it seem fair between both countries? Because at the end of the day, it seems like that's what's being pushed for here. It's just fair trade, fair and free trade, and open markets. Whereas before, you know, the United States hasn't had the opportunity to sell into these foreign markets because of these trade barriers, tariffs, and things of that nature. Let me know what y'all think about it. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll check you on the next one. Peace.